This complicated problem is actually going to be simplified utilizing the distributive property. The distributive property is used when you have a quantity inside parentheses that's being multiplied by a value outside. In this problem, we're going to use the distributive property to simplify the parentheses here that's being multiplied by the 4. We're also going to use the distributive property on the brackets, the quantity inside the brackets that's being multiplied by this 3. When you try to evaluate this problem, don't look at the entire problem, but let's start inside the brackets. So for a moment, I'm going to leave my y minus 3 and my brackets alone. And we're going to concentrate on just the part inside the brackets. There I see x plus 4. Inside the parentheses I have a 5x minus y. The 4 is being multiplied by this quantity inside the parentheses. The x out in front is not being multiplied. So the x and the plus sign are not going to be used when I use the distributive property. The distributive property says that I can take the 4 and multiply it inside the parentheses if I remember to multiply it by both terms inside. Taking the 4 times the 5x will give me 20x. Taking the 4 times the y, I have to remember to pay attention to the sign in front of the y. So 4 times minus y will give me a negative 4y. Now I know that this 3 is being multiplied by everything inside these brackets, so I'm going to use the distributive property again. However, if I want to, I can see that I have like terms here. The x and the 20x. If I want to, I could go ahead and combine. So let's do that. Let's leave everything else alone, but let's combine the x plus 20x so that here I have 21x minus 4y inside my brackets. Now before I can do anything else, I need to use the distributive property again. We're going to distribute the 3. I'm going to multiply the 3 by both of the two terms inside. So I'm going to take the 3 times the 21x, and I'm going to take the 3 times the 4y. When I do this multiplication, I have to pay attention to the fact that the 3 has a minus sign in front of it. So when I do my multiplication by 3, I'm going to treat it as a negative 3. The y that's out in front is not being multiplied, so we're not going to pay any attention to it right now. Negative 3 times a positive 21 gives me a negative 63x. Negative 3 times a negative 4 gives me a positive 12y. Using the distributive property there takes care of the brackets. I no longer need them. So all I have left to do is to collect my like terms. And I see that I have a y and a 12y, which would combine to give me 13y minus 63x. And since those are not like terms, there is no more that I can do to simplify this. So the messy thing that I started out with can be simplified down to the two terms, 13y minus 63x.